Hi everyone, I hope you're all doing well. There are two words in the English language with the same etymology, but yet when used, they're very different meanings. Two words are jealous and zealous. Now, jealousy, we all know what jealousy is. And to put it in context, I'll use a fictional character. Let's say Robin Hood. And we look at the Robin Hood films and maybe the adaptation of with Russell Crowe. And King John is the king of England. He heavily taxes the northern lords. And there's a confrontation between the northern lords and King John. And as this confrontation is happening, the French army is sailing towards England. Robin Hood rides in, saves the day. He brings a compromise between King John and the lords. They ride together, they beat the French on the beaches of England. After the battle, everyone's cheering. Who are they cheering though? They're not cheering King John. They're cheering Robin. Jealousy takes over and Robin Hood is made into an outlaw. Jealousy has spurned King John. And not only fictional characters, so many people in history and present to take action, to do things. Sometimes not very good things. Some very bad things have come because of jealousy. At the beginning of this week's parasha and the end of the last week's, we see that Pinchas, spurned by zealousy, takes action against the prince of a tribe. The prince who saw his people, who saw his tribe, they were the Jewish nation at the time, were falling to immorality and idol worship. And the prince saw that this was happening. And he, instead of admonishing his group, his tribe, he stood up with them. He stood up against Moshe. He stood up against the leadership. And fell to the same actions as they did. The leadership was stunned. They didn't know what to do. Pinchas spurned into action, seeing that the nation was in trouble, jumped up and took the action into his own hands. And God blessed him with a covenant of peace. You see, jealousy and zealousy are both ideas that can spur you into action. We are right now entering the period of the 3 weeks between the 17th of Tammuz and the 9th of Av. The 3 low weeks where we remember the destruction of the temple and so many other bad things which have fallen on the Jewish nation. The reason the rabbis tell us the second temple was destroyed was because of sinat chinam, baseless hate. One thing which can cause baseless hate is jealousy. The Torah tells us one of the 10 commandments is do not be jealous. And why not? Because it can lead to such terrible, terrible things. When all I care about is myself, there's so many terrible things that can come out of that. Pinchas, who cared about the nation, he stopped the terrible descent of the nation in its tracks when he saw that, no, this is not the right thing to do. They saw that God was with Pinchas. They came closer to God again. The Mishnah in Avot says, Im ein anili mili, if I am not for myself, who will stand for me? Of course I have to take care of myself. I have to keep my interests in mind. But, kashani la'atzmi ma'ani. If I'm only for myself, if I only care about myself, who am I? What am I doing? What am I contributing? Yes, we need to care about ourselves. We also need to care about the general society. Sometimes we need to put our own wants and desires aside and look for the greater good. Jealousy is not a good thing. Being zealous, taking care, looking after the greater good, that's an amazing idea. Shabbat Shalom.